Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
No, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me. And I can't choose one.
Yeah! Welcome to the jungle. We are fun and gay. Here we come in your ass. Don't tell me.
We are fun and gay.
Hey, couldn't go wrong there.
How upset would May be if she found out you blew me or I blew you?
I think about that all the time because just blowing you, not the other part. But I think about what would be worse if she found out that I was banging Anna Kournikova or if I was banging Clooney.
I think Clooney because it's just a different thing. Obviously, you fucked women. You want to fuck women. We all fuck women. You come in their pussies.
Sure.
That's what you want. I think women are aware that when we're fucking them, we're thinking about,
Chuck.
my Aunt Betty,
Sure.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the thing about fucking a dude is it's like, oh, everything's different than I thought.
Yes.
It's all a lie.
Yes.
Sure, there's lies,
Sure.
You're not from New Orleans, but there's
No. Tell us.
I think
You're right. That's true.
and my wife is, I can't say too much, but she's a little old school. She's like, that'd be a deal breaker.
My gal's the same way.
She's like, deal breaker. If I found out you blew a guy in 7th grade,
Yes.
you were forced to blow him, she'd leave me in the dumps.
I like that old school vibe. My gal, you hear about these guys like, I blew a guy in college, like, see if I liked it. And my lady was like, if you did that, that's over.
Yeah, exactly. My wife's like, yeah, she thinks those guys should be beaten and thrown.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hell. Or whatever. She doesn't think that. Obviously, I feel like I gotta. Evidently, you can't hear the construction at home. But if we don't address it and they do hear it,
Right. You can't win with these queefs.
No, you can't win.
Everybody's upset.
but I mean it's wild in here.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. What are they building? The Titanic out here? It's like nonstop buzzing and sawing, but then you don't see anything.
Well, it's like the Overlook Hotel. I don't understand. Is there a room back here?
That's what I'm saying.
Like isn't this where the cafeteria thing is? I can't do the math.
No, that's up there.
But you walk up there and over, but then back around the corner.
True.
Where's
What are
this
you?
at?
Then that's how fudge is made. But I think that's up over and then stops maybe a little up there. I don't
Okay,
think it
so
comes
there.
all the
So
way
what's
back
over here?
here.
Elevator shaft?
Might be a shaft.
Oh, I love a shaft.
Shaft. Shut your mouth. That was big.
Bitch. I don't know.
All right. I don't know if they
Tough
did bitch.
start, construction,
Yeah.
vibrations. I got nothing for stories, by the way.
Oh.
I might have one little thing. I don't know.
I got a
It's called
couple
my
of
cock.
I got a couple of honkers, but they're quick and interesting. But I don't know if we gotta maybe debate them just to get a little convo going because they're fun.
I like debate. Well, it's going to be a weird episode here. We're hunky-dory. We're funky. Isn't it funny how life is, though? Life gives you lemons and you stick them in your pussy.
Yes.
Right now.
Sourpuss.
Right now. I mean, you're on fire. You're saving the day.
Sourpuss. Clip it.
Right now, well, I'm like, I don't have much. You're like, I got a couple quickies. But next time we record, it's going to be post-bachelor party.
Oh,
We
Post
got-
Malone.
I mean, I'm about to take a trip right now. This weekend, I go to Nashville, 2 nights in Nashville, Smashville. By the way, they keep tweeting. We're excited to have back Joe List. I'm like, I've never been to this club in my life.
Fun.
So I don't know what's that all about.
But
But
that's a good sign because that means you're out in the zeitgeist. They assume they've seen you.
yeah, they assume they've booked me, but they haven't. But I'll be there, Nashville. And then I'm going straight from Nashville to Tampa.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
We have
Sound like a knife up my ass.
Tampa Side Splitters, 3 shows. A 3, a
shows?
6, and a 10. I don't even, how does it work? What
I
time?
don't know. Who the hell knows? I think it's a 3, a 5, and an 8.
Why are they those times?
Yeah, that
I
is
guess
a
we
little
want to
early.
do late maybe because everyone's going to be retarded.
It's a Tuesday or whatever.
a Sunday.
It's a Sunday. Yeah, the Lord's Day. That still means something in Florida. So, plus we want to get out early, so I have a little night left. I want to hit the town and go full jackal, foaming at the mouth.
Night left after 3 shows?
Oh,
You're going to be in the grave. Are you kidding me?
I'll be on angel dust by then. I mean, you better watch out, baby. You see those queens looking at you? They look scared.
Plus the fan and the fans and the stuff. I mean, this is going to be wild. And we got, we can give away special guests now because they're hearing it post-show.
Yeah, good point.
But we got Kreischer's going to be there. I mean,
The
that's
fat
going to
drunk.
be sick. I mean, Ari. I mean, Ari's not going to survive. First of all, he's 59.
No. He's gonna be 6 million and one Jews dead. But he's, he tried to keep up with Gillis with a couple Bud Lights. I think he had 8, and he had to get hospice in there. So he's fucked.
Yeah, forget about it. And I'm not going to survive this either. I'm going to be, out riding fences when you guys are whatever. Plus, we got the Double Dong show Monday morning, first thing.
Huh?
Well, it just seems like something.
Oh, you scared me. I thought we had morning radio. I panicked. But I was like, what are we doing radio for? This is a vacation.
Double Dong is a great radio team. That's like Jim and Bob Dong.
Right?
The Double Dong show.
The Dong Brothers. So Ding Dong, the witch is dead.
But Bros Inc. Thank God, I hated that gun. But so we got Tampa Sign Splitters Sunday, then Bachelor Party 2 days. Big house on a hill.
Oh, yeah. Water, jet ski. Kreischer's going to be floating like a manatee with a beer on his gut and spitting water out. I can't wait.
Hey, quite a motley crew, I might add. We got
motley.
photographers, Jews, alcoholics.
Yeah,
a
one
couple
black.
elderly, a black.
One Packy.
Is he Pakistani?
Oh, he's a big pack.
I was always afraid to ask.
Fudge pack.
But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Umar and Kusei and and then that goes, and then I go straight from there to Austin,
Wow.
doing the big pod with Sweet Lou,
Ooh.
and then I think we're doing the Creek that night. I'm doing the Creek that
Oh,
night.
that's going to sell out.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm sure he'll pop in.
not get attacked. I think he might pop. So check it out, Creek on August 17th. I think that's tomorrow if you're listening to this.
Bring your jujitsu, because walking to that creek, it's like a hobo zombie obstacle course.
No, I'm bringing my New Balances. I
Ah.
run, baby. Last time, that's where I was when I ran. I haven't returned to the scene of the crime. And then I go straight from there to Cincinnati. I'm going to the big tennis tournament, plus Liberty Funny Bone, which I heard is 7 hours away from anything.
It's 8 miles away, and it's big. It is big. It's next to a Panera Bread and a Bar Louie and a Sephora and an AMC.
Oh, they're all the same exact place.
I know, but at least the hotel's a stone's throw away. It's like across the street. It's one of those little complexes they do. It's kind of like a white flight
Right.
thing where there's a little patch of grass in the middle, and a kid does a cartwheel, and there's a fountain, and then
Sure.
there's
Roller skates?
yeah, maybe a skate.
Yeah,
I think
ice
there's a
skate.
cornhole and a swing.
Oh. Yeah, it's all the same. But I got to say, I was just in West Des Moines, which is the same thing. And I'm a basic bitch.
Sure.
I mean, I live in the city. I love the city. I'm an artist. I live the artist life, whatever, blow me. But I go to West Des Moines, and it's Chick-fil-A, Panera Bread,
Chipotle.
Cheesecake Factory, Chipotle, AMC theaters. I'm blowing Steve Rogers the whole time. I had to unhinge my jaw because his cock's so big. But
Yeah, you could do worse. You could like lockjaw, but it is nice because we live in hock, as they say. We live in squalor. It's hobos. It's riding the rails. It's subways. It's the warriors, knife fights, black people, Puerto Ricans, Hasidic Jews. It's a who's who of characters out there. And then you go over to the sweet Cheesecake Factory and mall life, and it's kind of nice.
I feel like $1 million. And Steve Rogers and I were walking all over the place. It was like 110. And I got to tell you this. I was talking about this on stage. In Des Moines, the Midwest, they're too nice.
Uh-huh.
You know the too nice?
Oh, yeah. Too nice crew. But maybe it's a little passive-aggressive.
Well, they do this thing where you're crossing the... So we're on foot. We're the only ones on foot. We look like... everyone must assume we have DUIs because it's like a big, sprawling mall horseshit.
Yeah.
And so you come up, and it's like a 4-lane road, and you stop because you got to cross the street. I got to get to Starbucks.
Oh,
or
yeah.
you don't want to be around me.
Takes forever.
And then the guy in his car, he's taking a right, and he sees us over there, so he's doing this.
Yes,
you go.
yes.
But I'm like, no, you go.
You go.
You're in a car.
Right.
I'm on foot.
Exactly.
I have to cross 4 lanes of traffic on foot.
Yes.
Hoofs.
Foot.
You're in a car. You can do 30 miles an hour. Just pull away. You're gone. There's no one behind you.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. Now I have to walk. I have to do this jog move.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
And I'm like, you just want the dopamines. Think scientifically here.
Logic.
It doesn't make sense. Everyone does it. Oh, go ahead. And I'm
Right.
like this. No, just zoom by.
I know. And those fucking four-ways out there, you hit that dumb button, which I assume does nothing, and then you hit the button and you're like, oh, and then eventually you never get the white guy, so you just go, fuck it, let's take it. You try to map out where the arrow is and which is green and which is red, and you just go for it.
I
It's
know.
brutal.
You almost get hit by a car. But I wonder if the white guy will become offensive.
I
will
thought
it become
about that
yellow
too, yeah.
or blue?
Or black.
Why don't they make him gender neutral? Well, black's hard to see unless he's smiling. Uh-oh. Cut that. But, black, you can't have black lights. I mean, you can have a black light, but then you see the cum everywhere.
Yeah. Not in a hotel. You don't want that. Oh, yeah,
maybe
I
a
guess you're
blue,
right.
maybe
Blue.
a yellow.
Blue, yeah.
Blue. Well, blue lives matter. That's no good.
True. You see, there's a hole everywhere you turn.
Orange is Trump. That's no good.
Yeah.
Yellow. Maybe yellow.
And
that's Asian.
That's Asian, and he does look like a guy, which is no good. It's gonna have to be just a blob or a face, like a smiley face.
What about pink? Because pink's not gender neutral anymore.
Makes me
Or
think of-
gender whatever.
It's breast cancer.
Right. Fuck. What's the color?
See, these cum guzzlers have painted ourselves into a corner of offensiveness.
Maybe green light, but green light means go. Well, it should be green.
Green.
'Cause go.
But that
for the
might
pedestrian.
confuse the drivers. Like, oh, I
The
saw green, I
drivers,
panicked.
That's right, because that happens with the bike lane.
Aha.
Sometimes you see the green bike and you start to turn,
Exactly.
you go, oh, it's a bike.
And the green could be a little Irish action. Who knows? Luck of the Irish, green mile, green emerald.
We got no color. Maybe purple.
Purple.
Purple walk guy.
I like purple.
Purple walk person.
It could just be the purple eggplant.
One-eyed, one-horn, flying
Purple
purple people
people
eater.
eater.
Have you seen Nope?
No, I haven't. Nope.
Oh, I saw it twice. You like Chuck.
Twice.
I had the same feelings as you, where it's like I like so much of the visuals, but I'm like, it's kind of ambiguous, like a little bit too much.
It's pretty good.
Do you feel bad as a whitey?
No.
No,
Oh,
none of
okay,
that,
great.
None of that. I mean, I guess there's layers of that, but no, not at all. And it's fun. And I saw it was poor Steve Rogers. This guy, he's one of these cute, sweet men. By the way,
Cute little guy.
this guy keeps getting stronger. Very funny comic. Check him out. He's got a special.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't see someone for a while. All of a sudden, you're like, damn, that's new. That's
I love
new.
that.
That's something.
Love when they're working.
And they love him in Des Moines. So he's got a huge piece.
Huge dong. The Dong Brothers.
Yes,
That's you guys.
Dong Boys. I got a decent tongue.
That's what I've heard.
It's got some problems.
Yeah, I've heard that
obviously.
too.
Very rash. I got all kinds of asshole rashes these days. Are you dealing with this at all?
You got to get the bidet. You got to get the wet wipe.
I got an itchy butt, the taint, it's bumps, it's brails.
Well, you know what? You get that swamp ass, this heat. You get a little chafing going, and then you're wiping all day. You shit like a goose on Sunday, and you're just wiping like crazy. It's just a rug burn all day long.
I gotta tell you, I've had 2 jogging shits where you hand your shit to your wife and you jog home. Have you had these at all?
Wait. What is a marathon? I'm confused.
Buddha Pippin. We're walking home, and I just get hit with it like Kramer.
Oh, yeah, I've had
And
that.
so I gotta hand her my coffee and my glasses, and I just
see.
run for it.
You said I hand her my shit. I was like, what are you, shitting in a bag? That's what I was confused.
Oh, I see. No. I mean, we were walking home from, I forget where. We were running errands or something. Oh, we went to the bank. That's what it is. We went to the bank.
The bank.
Had
Yep.
to move whatever, do whatever. And we're sitting there, and the lady's like, and do you have an account with the... and I'm like, this lady, you know when you can feel the shit touching your underwear? It's like peeking out. It's rattling the cages.
Yes.
And so I had to just hand her my coffee and just go for it. I was like, take my wallet, take my wife, and take my sneakers. I got to run.
No bank shit.
Nah, you want a home shit. This is the kind of shit you want to be at home, and the bank doesn't have a shitter.
They don't. You can't make a deposit. All right, sorry.
Ooh, you are hot today, baby.
But it's hot here.
It's brutal. I'm schwitzing.
Hot coffee.
But I
yeah.
ran, and then you ever have this kind of shit where it's every kind of shit you can have in one? Like I had the double tapered pipe,
Oh yeah, I love a pipe.
like the big present, like
Yes.
like a bag of Smarties.
It's all pipes.
That came out.
Yeah.
Then I had a couple of like bloop, 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 like rabbit pellets.
The rabbits. Yeah.
On top of it. Then it got funky. It was like I switched gears, and it was like like a diarrhea thing, and then it was just a loose pile. Like a bloosh.
This is a ton.
Yeah. I got photos. I'll send you.
Send me the photo.
I mean, it was a real pile of shit.
Yeah. It's so funny. I had this last week. I was on a podcast I was walking around my neighborhood doing a solo pod with like a lav mic. And I got out of the apartment. I went, I got a shit, kind of. And I was like, whatever. And then 2 blocks later, it was like, full-blown emergency. Your whole attitude changes, and you just go into survival mode. You're like, maybe I'll shit between these cars. Maybe I'll shit in this house. Maybe I'll shit in this dumpster. I could pull it off. I'll just pull my pants up real quick, finish, and run home and wipe my ass.
Yeah, it's funny how much you care about your clothes because you're like, I can't shit in my pants, so I'll just shit on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Which is also insane.
Right.
'Cause if you shit in your pants, at least it's contained. You can get home and clean.
I don't know. I was in shorts, and this would have been a leg runner.
Yeah, I mean, this was bad, but I think what it is for me, and I've mentioned this stuff before, I've been starting every day with a big bowl of oatmeal.
Okay.
And a big spinach smoothie. Spinach, blueberry, banana. But then I eat shit. Like, I'll go to the movies, I'll eat M&Ms. I'll go to get a double fudge brownie at Starbucks.
Oh.
So I think it's the combo of really healthy with some unhealthy.
Yes.
Really makes everything move.
You got Israel and Palestine because that's why your shits are getting all diverse. That's why the cylindrical is the spinach and the oatmeal, and then the rabbit pellet and the explosion and the Pollock painting and the Flint water. That's the brownie.
Well, at the bank, she said I have to diversify my portfolio.
There we go.
I decided to mix it up in there.
Uh-huh.
And then
Is it TD Bank turd drop?
It was TD.
All right. There we go.
Toronto. What is that? Toronto dildo? What's the D? I think it's Toronto.
Oh, is it Toronto?
It's a Canadian bank.
I don't like
so
that.
I just think TD Bank North.
TD Bank toilet destroyer.
It might not be.
All right.
It might not be Toronto. It's T something. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's keep it moving. We don't want to have Chuck talk.
Tea party.
Did you find it?
You gotta ask me straight up, or else I can't answer. It's part of the rule. You have to ask.
What does that mean? Straight up.
I can't talk without someone asking me.
Not being
Oh,
prompted.
I
Even
see.
if you look at me and nod, they still say.
Did you guys come to this agreement? Are you guys like Congress over there?
No, I'm just trying to.
Okay.
I'm just trying to control the damage
All right.
control.
I thought it was Chuck and the gays were like having a meeting.
Yeah. They got the climate change bill
They
passed.
string me up.
Um,
Toronto Dominion Bank.
all right. I knew it was Toronto. I didn't know.
Dominion.
Obviously, I backpedaled. So,
Dominion Republic.
but anyways, we went and saw Nope. Me and Steve Rogers, his huge cock. But he's like a child. He's you know these people that can't watch horror movies.
Yeah, that's a little sad. I mean, like, I don't like horror. I get scared, but I can do it. It's a fucking film. It's a picture show.
Well, I had to tell him like this old trick from when I was 9. I was like, just picture everything right off frame. There's a guy that looks like Chuck with a boom mic.
Right.
I'm like, everything you're seeing, there's like 50 people right out of the frame, being like smoking a butt and they're wearing New Balance. You know what I mean?
That's a great point. Yeah, there's a guy with a big bullhorn going, "Good, all right." He has a bag of M&Ms.
Yes. As soon as this is over, this possession is over. They're like, "This was that good? Okay, well, I gotta take 5."
Yeah,
here."
lunch. Going to lunch.
Yeah.
That's it. Check
Exactly.
the gate.
That's lunch. So he was scared, and I looked over a couple times, and he's got like his bag of pop. He's eating it like he's like watching the movie, like peeking over the popcorn.
You want to go ahead? Look at that huge hog of yours. All right, be a man.
I know you got rated R in your pants, but I tried to tell him it's like an adventure movie. But because Nope is like in the horror area, the trailers, forget about it. Steve crawled underneath the fucking thing.
Jesus
It was
Christ.
bad. It was bad. I mean, if his wife saw it, forget about it.
That's the end of that. All right. Well, Steve, sack up a little bit. It's funny because everybody's like, I don't know how you do stand up. I don't know how you get up there. Meanwhile, you can't get on the subway. Steve's under the seat, and I got a finger in my ass.
I took the subway here. I
All
take
right.
it. If the sun's out pre 5 p.m., I'll take it.
There you go. Sun's out, knives out. That's the subway's model or motto.
That was a fun movie.
Oh, yeah. Knives Out was pretty good.
Sequel coming.
They'll ruin it.
But I think I thought Nope was pretty good, pretty fun. It's worth a C.
All right. C minus. Hey, folks. Tuesday Stories is brought to you by Sheath. You know we love Sheath. I'm not even going to look. I bet I'm wearing them right now. Here we go. Oh, you hate to see those pubes. Look at that. Oh, you got the nice King Tut sheath over there. King Tut. Tuesdays with Stories is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. Keep the heat off your balls with Sheath. We love them. They feel good. They look good. They smell good. I got my dick in one pouch, my balls in the other. It's genius marketing, genius engineering. You got to get on it. Get something for the lady, too. It's all by U.S. Army soldier and Tuesday Robert Patton. He was out there in the desert of Iraq with a fucking hog on his leg, and he had to move it. Hoo-ah! Comfy and cool. Sheath comes in so many patterns you can have a pair ready for any occasion. They didn't leave out the ladies either. Get that sports bra, gals. The comfort you guys know for your balls. Sheath is applied to boobs with the sports bra. Go to sheathunderwear.com and order with promo code TUESGAYS to get 20% off your first order. And Sheath 100% money-back guarantee. But you won't need it. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code TUESGAYS. Get Sheath Underwear and let them support your balls.
Hey there, folks. My name is Joe List, and I co-host this podcast for many years, and we're very funny. And we want to thank our sponsorship, Factor. When summer starts to wind down, fall can get chaotic. But Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery makes it easy to stay on top of a busy schedule. Factor makes it easy to eat well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and everything in between. These are fresh, never-frozen meals that are delicious and nutritious. Factor now offers 32 meals per week, including 11 keto options. Each Factor meal arrives pre-prepared by their team of chefs, ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes. They offer a vegan and veggie meals, keto meals, calorie-smart options, cold-pressed juices, smoothies, energy bites, extra protein, veggie sides, and more to keep you fueled and focused all day long. Right now, you can head to go.factor75.com/Tuesdays130. Use code Tuesdays130 to get $130 off across 6 boxes. That's code Tuesdays130 at go.factor75.com/Tuesdays130 for $130 off. That's a great deal. Go get it. Go do it.
Here, here. Let me throw this at your dick and see if it sticks to the side of it.
A lot of space there.
So I was in Kentucky this weekend. Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, hello, Kentucky.
Exactly. Ooh. So this is one of these sleeper great clubs. You been to this room?
What's it called?
Comedy Off Broadway.
Oh, I know about it because Ronon's from there, so he knows everything Kentucky.
That's right. Sam said he had him open for him once. He was like, that was a mistake.
Oh,
he just murders, he's yelling, he's killing, and Sam's like, yo, what's up with Finland? Or whatever. Got it. And
this is my Sam Earl.
That's it. So, Sam, whatever, but I don't know. He might get mad about all that, but who knows?
Oh, we did an impression.
Okay. So
he's the best. We love Sam.
He's got a new special coming out on Netflix.
Whoa!
Oh, is that not out? You didn't know that?
I knew that.
Oh, okay.
I was selling it.
Just checking. Now I'm nervous. But I bring Marcus Monroe to feature.
Oh, Eminem.
Great kid, funny guy, good egg. So he's a filmer too. That's a big move now. These guys go, hey, you bring me, and you go, maybe I'll think about it. I can film, clip, edit, cut, and you go, you're in.
Steve brought a camera. I didn't know. I brought him because he's got a huge dick, but
sure.
He brought the camera.
All right.
I haven't seen the footage. He's a regular Chuck, but
he already has the tripod. So we get out there, and it's 8 flights to get in. You got to leave at 4 in the morning because you want to make sure you get there, and if you miss your connection. So it's one of those things where I'm watching TV at midnight the night before, and you got that looming 10 o'clock flight. All right. Look at my phone. American. Flight canceled.
Oh.
I go, what the Nazi dick jizz queef bitch Jew is this?
Delta.
So then you got to go, all right, well, my flight is canceled. I got to get on it. Delta, beep, 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 $800. We got a new flight. Great. Now it's early. I get there, and this is where I took your advice.
Thank you.
The lounge.
Ooh, love the lounge.
I love the lounge. It makes your life better. It's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to the lounge. There's breakfast. There's coffee. I made an Arnold Palmer. I had 4 chocolate chip cookies. I'm high-fiving the black ladies. I'm eating oatmeal. It's great. I have a what do you call that? A Moscow Mule for the hell of it. It's like 9 in the morning.
What's a Moscow Mule?
It's in the copper cup, and it's it's vodka and pineapple juice. Give that a go.
Makes your semen taste better.
Yeah, that's right. You'll find out later. So now it's all locking in. I'm annoyed because of the flight cancel, but now I'm in the Delta Lounge. I got upgraded. Nothing better than an upgrade. So I get in 4A. I sit down. I'm in the window, and there's an old Jewish guy, like super old. Looks like F. Murray Abraham. Like old guy, yeah. And I go, sorry, I'm in the window. He goes, oh, but he gets up. I sit in, and immediately he goes in. And he's like, what do you do? And I'm like,
These Jews.
I know. So I was like, all right. Maybe I'll just chat a little. You never know. So we start chatting. Somehow I tell him I might be buying this house in Brooklyn. He goes, I'm a designer. And I go, And he goes, hold on, let me get my portfolio. He gets back up. He pulls out a big binder. Now I'm looking at his portfolio. Not great. Not my cup.
The Penske file.
So now I'm just like, this is why people don't do this. This is why this is ending. Like, this is an old school guy. He wants to have a chit-chat. He thinks that's what you do on flights. You meet people, you network. And he just keeps going. And I keep doing the thing where I put the headphone in. I go, oh, what was that? Oh, yeah. And he won't stop. And eventually, he's like, you married? I'm like, I'm getting engaged or whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, you got kids? I'm like, no kids. I go, you want kids? He goes, well, I'm gay. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he just starts unloading. He's like, I used to go to Studio 54. I used to fuck everybody. We used to go to the bathhouses. New York sucks now. They ruined it. And I'm like, we haven't even taken off.
Oh,
I mean, this is all in.
Oh.
Now, I don't know what to do because I'm like, I'm so tired. I pigged out. It's 8 in the morning. I just want a nap.
Yes.
And he won't stop. Like, even when it's over, he'll be like, so where do you live? And he just keeps it coming.
God, this is
I'm like,
brutal.
God, F. Murray Abe.
They should have a little one of the Jeopardy thing, the little window that comes up for Final Jeopardy.
Oh.
You know, the little panel.
Yes, this is your last chit chat. It's
Yes.
coming up. Get it in now. So this daily double cunt, it would not stop. And eventually I go, hey, look, buddy. This is Alan talking. I go, I usually sleep on airplanes, so if I fall asleep, don't take it personal. And he goes, oh, no. So right when that thing takes off, I go, I just fake it. And he's still talking.
No, come on.
Well, he's going like, oh, sorry. So did you catch that
Jesus.
movie? Oh, sorry. I'm going to let you sleep. That passive aggressive shit. And I just go, and I just faked it all through it. I faked the sleep for like an hour and a half.
Wow.
Till I got to Atlanta.
Dad, did you ever actually fall asleep? Because sometimes if you fake sleep, you fall asleep.
Well, here's what happened. I faked it, and eventually I look over at him, and he's going.
Oh,
So he fell
okay. So
asleep.
you put him to sleep.
I put him to sleep, and then I watched a movie.
Okay, that's not bad.
Not bad, but it was quite an ordeal.
Yeah, these talkers, just forget about it. I don't understand it. As soon as they say hi, there's no need for a slight exchange, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, and I think he's thinking like, keep in touch. He gave me his card. I'll design your whole house, whatever. And it's very nice, but you could tell the guy was extremely lonely, and he was a sweet guy. And I hope the best for him. But, whew, you know, it felt like it felt like you met that kid in 8th grade, who you're like, this kid's a dweeb. He's a nerd. He's got some problems, but he's nice. It was like that, but 80. You'd think you would grow out of that, but he was still that kid.
I think he's lonely. I think he's a
lonely.
lonely guy. He's got no one to talk to, and he goes, great, I got a buddy for an hour
Yes.
and a half. And you're cool. He's looking at you going, hey, the cool guy next to me.
Well, I had to keep lying because he kept asking me about my job, and I
Right.
couldn't give him comedian.
No, you can't.
So the best I could come up with is I'm a punch-up guy. And he goes, punch up? What are you, a boxer? I go, no, I punch up scripts. And he goes, what? So I was like, damn it, that was too interesting too.
That's no good.
And he goes,
yeah.
anything I've heard of? I go, Tropic Thunder, something about Mary. He's like, I don't know any of those. I'm like, well, what are we doing here? I gave you like giant mainstream movies. What do you want me to say? Casablanca and Rear Window? So that was
Great
interesting. Yeah. Hey, folks, Tuesday Stories is brought to you by Raycon. Oh, I've been listening to a lot of Pearl Jam lately, and it's been great. Uh-oh. It's been even better using my Raycon wireless earbuds. Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever with optimized gel tips for the perfect snug in-ear fit. These earbuds are comfortable, and they will not fall out. Raycons Offer 3 sound profiles to match what you're listening to: noise isolation, awareness mode, and plus mode. Lets you be immersed in sound or hear your surroundings. This is next level stuff, folks. They've mastered the earphone. It's got all these options. It sounds great. I listen to it when I run or in bed before I hit the snooze. So I love to use my Raycons when riding the subway too, because you drown out some of the religious yelling the guy's doing. Raycons give you 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life. Holy hell, you could fly to LA 17 times on that hour. On that battery. Raycons give you the same audio quality as other premium audio brands at half the price. These bad boys are built to last. I've seen people talking about their Raycons falling 3 stories, getting lost in the rain and a snowstorm, and still working after. Woo-wee! It's like an immigrant. It's easy to see why Raycon's everyday earbuds have over almost 50,000 5-star reviews. Check out Raycon's wireless earbuds. You are going to want to leave them a 5-star review as well. Go to buyraycon.com/Tuesdays and get 15% off your first order. That's BUYRAYCON.com/Tuesdays to get 50% off. Buyraycon.com/Tuesdays. Get on it!
Wow, yeah, that sucks. I had a little incident with a lady
Lay it on me, fatty.
at the airport. So I go with Big Steve, Big Dick Rogers.
Sure.
Who, by the way, the Tuesday we have quite an outrage because we did the meet and greet after, and every single person was like, "Hey, Big Dick." Huge dick. Let's see that. I've given this man a gift that keeps giving forever.
Yeah, well, he better thank us with that hog. I want a Christmas card with it.
Well, he fucked up big time because he proposed. I'm like, we're telling thousands of men and young women that you have a giant piece and now you're married.
Yeah, what a retard.
You really blew it here.
Yeah, you big dicked idiot.
You blew it, buddy. So we get to the flight. We're in the lounge, the whole thing. I'm in Delta Comfort. He's back in the shit big dick seats. We both get upgraded. I get upgraded to first class. He gets upgraded to comfort.
Hey, can't complain there.
So I'm in first class, but they give me the window, which I'm an aisle guy because I piss every 30 seconds.
Love an aisle.
So they give me the window. I'm in 4D.
Okay.
4C, very attractive older woman who I had been pointing out before when we were waiting to board. I was like, look at this.
What are we thinking?
Older than me. I mean, like
Laura Dern.
No, dark hair.
Oh.
Jet black hair, petite.
Ooh.
Like this little waist, some nice looking gal.
Sure.
So she sits in the aisle, and I'm like, oh, that's the lady from earlier. I remember her. And I text Steve, because I get on before him, because I'm better than him as a human.
Yes, yes.
So I text, and I go, hey, the lady I was talking about is sitting next to me. So then he gets on, and we're having some fun, and the lady's here, and I go, I hope your suitcase doesn't fit, because it's a CRJ 900, the little one.
That's a good line.
And I say, I hope your suitcase doesn't fit in the overhead. I hope you have to walk back through the whole line. And he's laughing, and the lady says, that's a really dark thing to wish on someone.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
attraction level
I go, is it dark?
plummeting.
Is that dark? It's not dark.
Not dark? It's
Dark would be,
fun.
I hope your mother gets raped by a sandwich maker.
Yes, that's dark. Foot long. That's dark.
So I go, well, he's my friend. And she goes, that makes it worse.
Whoa, who is this lady?
And I go, no, it doesn't. It would be 100 times worse if I just random people. I was like, I hope your bag doesn't
Yes,
fit.
that's a great point.
That would be psychotic. That'd be 1,000 times worse.
That's a bit.
And I know it's a bit. I'm doing a bit.
Oh,
on the
sorry,
show.
shit.
Fuck, I feel like an asshole.
No,
Cut
no,
that.
no,
I'm just
no,
doing
no.
bits on the show.
Don't do the bit thing.
But I didn't know it was a bit. It was a story.
course,
I told
of
it on
course.
stage. It killed. But she literally said that. And so then I'm looking back at Steve, and this lady hates me.
Wow.
Because she's like, really? She's like, that's worse. And she's like, she's literally like doing this. And I'm like, well, now I got a partner that hates me. I want the person to like me. Not
Yes.
as much as your guy likes you, but I
Not
want her
that
to
much.
like a little bit.
Sure, sure.
Plus, she's hot. So then I'm like, I'll take out my book. I bring a book. And I was like, if she sees that I read, she'll know I'm a good person. Good
Mein
people
Kampf.
read.
Yeah.
So, I pull out, Donald Trump, Art of Making the Deal, and I start reading that. And she didn't no look, and I'm like, she hates me. Fuck. And I was like, I thought about faking a phone call, being like, I'll be there to volunteer for the blind kids
I've
tomorrow.
had these exact thoughts.
I
It's
was
so
like,
funny.
maybe I'll do something like that.
Sure.
And then Louis texts, and I'm like, I can't let her.
Don't let her see that.
I can't let her see that it just says best friend Louis. I'm like, I got to throw that out the window. So then Steve, he gets upgraded. He gets the last minute upgrade. You know, when you're already sitting on the plane, they come and find you.
Nothing better than that.
So it's one of these 1 seat over there, 2 seats over here. It's a little plane. So all of a sudden, Steve shows up next to me, over there, across the aisle. And I go, what? And then she goes, that's your friend, right? Why don't we switch so you can sit with your friend?
Whoa.
Which is kind of nice. But then she says this.
Maybe she was trying to make amends.
Well, then she says this, and she gets up. She goes, he doesn't want to sit next to me. I know that. And I was like, what are we fighting? What is this?
Are we married? What's going on?
I did want to sit next to you because you got great cans and a little waist.
Sure.
But she was quite mean. So she switched. And then Steve's next to me. But it's kind of like the old guy. Because I love Steve, but I'm like, I don't want to hang out right now.
Yes,
I want to sleep and jerk off and read Art of the Deal.
Right.
So we ended up having a nice a couple laughs, couple chuckles, and I was making, I'm doing some gags or whatever, and checking out his piece. But still, it was a little strange.
That is a little strange, but what a turn of I mean, she went from the hottest lady to the meanest lady to the nicest lady again with the seat switch. I mean, she's all over the road. This broad.
I think it was a way for her to sit by herself and get away from me because she sees me as this dark soul.
I don't get it. I mean, what does she do when she sees the news or a homeless guy? You know, she sees you make a joke. She's like, "Ah!"
Yeah, I was like, I'm busting balls, and I said this. I was like, I know his suitcase is gonna fit. Like I put mine in. So it's like, it's not that mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, we're joking.
Wow. What a cool, I mean, I'm just going to say this. There's like an epidemic going on in this time where people are good guys, but they're actually kind of shitty. You know,
yes.
They act nice and heroic and, virtuous, but they're actually, I had a similar thing, and now I'm going to counter with this lady.
Okay, counter.
Oh, wait, were you done?
I think I'm done.
Okay. So I had 2 incidents with ladies in Kentucky. So we sold out every show, and we added a show. So when you add a show, it's kind of like the riffraff show up because people are like, "Oh, there's a show tonight. We've never heard of this guy," which is fine. I think part of being a comic is making strangers laugh. That's part of it. So we get this show, and it goes well. They're a little more square. They're not your people. They're not as gung-ho. So I would do a Holocaust joke, and they were still like, Jesus Christ. It's reality.
Right.
So one lady comes up to me. She has armpit hair, and she's really cute, but she's like, I noticed you asked if there were any gay people in the room, and nobody responded, so I went, woo. And I was like, oh, thanks. Thanks for being supportive, whatever. I appreciate it. She's like, well, it's weird you have no gay people here. And I'm like, well, we've had gay people throughout the show. This is like the 5th show we've had them, but just none at this show. Or maybe they didn't respond. And she was like, I noticed that they didn't have a lot of other minorities either. And I was like, well, I don't know. It's Lexington. What do you want from me? And she's like, I think it's your crowd. And I go, well, we've had minorities throughout the weekend.
Sure.
And she's like, no, it's your crowd. And I'm like, okay. And then she kind of got snippy and walked away. And I was like, well, that was weird. Did I just get scolded for not having minorities? And she's like, Kentucky's very liberal. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Louisville's very liberal.
Well, yeah, I'm in
Kentucky's
Lexington.
as red as my asshole with this rash.
Well, she said Lexington's very liberal.
Oh, Lexington, excuse me.
So I was like, all right, yeah, sorry. And then she walked away, and I was like, that was weird. And one guy comes up after to buy a shirt, and he goes, fuck her. And I was like, okay. So then we do all the shirts. She comes back later and goes, I don't want you to think I hate you, so let's get a photo. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't want to get a photo with you. You hurt my feelings, or you were mean.
Yeah.
But I did the photo because I'm scared of her. So
Sounds
then,
like she's flirting with you in a weird way. Or she wants to fuck a Nazi in her mind.
Oh, it didn't feel like it.
I think.
It didn't feel like that, but maybe I've never been on the other end of a Nazi fuck fantasy, an NFF. So she leaves, and I get a bunch of emails later, whatever, and I just delete it. Do you have a YouTube email sync? Meaning, whenever you get a comment on your YouTube, you get an email.
Oh, I had to get rid of that a long time ago.
Yeah, well,
kidding?
I always just delete them because you get a bunch of YouTube comments. But for some reason, I just said, "Oh, I got a comment on this video." I opened it, and it said, "Went and saw Mark's show. I think he's a very liberal guy, but I must say his crowd is insanely conservative, bigoted, and every time he did a ironic racial joke, they whooped and hollered because it was supporting their racist beliefs." And it was like this long paragraph, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
God.
And I think it was her.
Imagine it was her. I mean, you gotta hope it was her. You don't want two of these knuckleheads running around.
Well, that's true, but
I mean, it's better if it's her. But this is the weird thing now, where it's like you're not just responsible for your actions; you're responsible for the people in your audience.
Well,
Which
this
I
goes.
get if you got a bunch of people shooting up the place or
Sure.
like lighting crosses on fire.
Yeah.
But it's like I do the shows. I do what I do. Whoever comes, comes. I go to Pearl Jam shows. They're like progressive activists. It's 95% middle-aged white men. They talk about. I mean, Eddie Vedder comes out and takes a knee, literally during that stuff. I mean, they're a progressive band. They support, Ralph Nader and all this
Right.
stuff. But a bunch of gay people and black people are not into their music. What are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've been to 50 shows. Everybody is a 42-year-old straight white guy going, I'm still alive.
Right.
It's like the audience can't just reflect whatever.
And if a fist fight breaks out, it's not Pearl Jam's not inciting violence. A fist fight broke out.
Right. I mean, some artists do that.
Well,
like,
that's true.
Whatever.
But my point is, so this is where I'm going with it. So yesterday I get a haircut, and I do I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, it's not a great one.
It's not great. So the guy I went in, and I love this barber shop, and I go in, and I ding, 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 and I go, hey, and the guy goes, and I go, what? He goes, we're closing in a half hour. And I go, half hour? It says 7, and it's 6. I'm looking at my mom, like, it's 6. Beep, beep. And he goes, well, we'd like to start wrapping up. And I'm like, well, you got an hour. And he's like, well, all right. And he goes, sit here. Whap, whap. And he hits the chair hard with the robe. And I was like, oh, this guy's angry. So now I'm going into an angry haircut. But I was real fuzzy. I needed a haircut. So I go, well, maybe it'll be all right. Maybe it'll be like a fuck, where it's like an angry fuck, so it's good.
By the way, you still need one.
Yeah, I know. So I go in, and he's just wraps the cape around me, and I'm like, oh, shit, there's tension. You can feel it. He's snipping hard.
Oh, geez.
And then he does the thing where he wets, I got curly pube hair, so he has to wet it, and he's doing this shit. I'm like, God damn, and he's yanking my hair out of my head. And he starts buzzing. He goes, how do you like it? I go, well, he goes, what about the sideburns? I go, just give him a snip right here. And he goes, up here. And then I go, how do you want the back? And I go, I like it rounded. Square.
Oh.
This guy fucked me, Jerry.
Yeah, what the hell?
So there was another guy next to it, and I could tell he was like, he was sweeping, like, oh boy. Like he could feel it. And I go, hey man, I couldn't take it anymore, because you feel so vulnerable. You're sitting there with the cape on. He's got tools and knives and scissors. He's got you by the balls.
Is it a cape?
The robe. I think
Apron?
they call it a
I think
cape.
it's an apron.
Oh, maybe an apron.
Is it a cape?
Capron.
Chuck?
Well, heroes wear
I don't
capes. I don't know, but
Because, by the way, I'm not criticizing. It's a genuine question, because I've never called it a cape. I want to start calling it a cape.
I would go apron.
apron's probably best. But I don't know why my father's
Smock?
with a man with a cape. Smock isn't bad.
It looks like it's apron. I looked it up.
Okay.
They sell it as haircut apron.
Where'd I get cape?
I
Cape
don't know. Well, it's the
Canaveral?
same as a cape. It's a reverse cape.
It's a reverse cape.
A rape.
Cape Cod. Okay. I'm a cape apologist.
All right, so sorry.
All right,
Get me here. Get me there.
So I'm getting an angry cut, and he's not listening to me. It's bad. Thank God he's not a moil. This guy would have cut my dick off. So he's buzzing, he's twisted, he's shaking, he's dusted, he's hitting me with that. He dips the brush in the powder, hit me all over the face. I'm like, and I go, dude, are you mad at me? And he goes, why would I be mad? He's like this Italian guy. He's like, why would I be mad? No, I'm not mad. And I'm like, and he's all mumbly and quiet. He's talking very low. And I got to the point where I couldn't hear him, but I didn't want to miss something. This is vital information. He's going to give me a fucking mohawk out here. So I kept being like, what? Huh? And he would say it again. I'm like, you're killing me here, because it just keeps making it more tense, because I have to keep asking, what? And then eventually I go, okay, I want to get it short on the side, but keep some at the top. And he goes, and I go, is that good? And he goes, yeah, it's good. I'm like, all right, because he wasn't responding to me.
Right.
And, I can't deal with a no response. That's like
No.
my big trigger. It's my parental thing. It's psychology. It goes all the way back to childhood, whatever. My dad didn't talk to me, whatever. So part of me was like, I might just walk. Should I walk?
Whoa.
But I'm halfway through a cut. So eventually, I kind of I'm like sweating, because I'm like, I'm in fight or flight mode in a smock,
Right.
in a chair. And this guy is angry at me, but I have to pay him, but it's my hair and whatever. So eventually he goes, all right, you're all done. And I go, whoop, whoop. And I go, this side is way longer than this side. And he goes, well, you said not too short. I'm like, I don't want too short, but it has to be even. And he goes, well, your hair's curly. And I go, yeah, but there's still length. I can still pull it out and see what's what. And he goes, okay. And he cuts it better. And then I went home and furiously, I gave him like a small tip and got out of there. But here's this is where I'm bringing it all around. I wanted to write a review. My first thought was to write a review, but then I go, well, am I that coos if I write a review?
No, I think reviews are important. I mean, that lady's commenting on YouTube, and her thing doesn't make any sense. You'd be her if you wrote a review that was like, I got to tell you, I was the only one in there. So they don't like blacks or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like her thing is taking one thing and saying another thing.
Yes.
It seems like. To me, the review can be powerful. I'm not writing reviews all over the place, but if someone's fucking you like that, you got to shove that review right up their ass because, first of all, you could be doing service to someone else who's going to get a crummy haircut.
Yeah.
And, it gives you some power, the review.
I guess it does give you power, but you don't want to abuse it. People always abuse power, but I wish I knew the guy's name because I've been in there 10 times and they always do great.
Well,
it was this guy.
You might have to make an appointment. You have to have an appointment person. Say, hey, Billy's my guy.
Yes.
That's not bad.
I talked to Cypher Sounds, our Puerto Rican DJ pal, and he has an interesting move. He's like, dude, I go to these barber shops, and they have 18 guys hanging out. It's like a bunch of black guys, and they all hang out and shoot the shit and chop it up. And he's like, I go in there, and I'm Puerto Rican, so they give me a weird shape-up thing. And he's like, I'm hip and a DJ, so they think I want like a Z in there or a swastika. So he goes... He's like gotten burned so many times, so he filmed his barber doing it, and he made a little sizzle reel, and he goes, I'm shooting a movie, it's got to look exactly like this. And that's his move.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to shoot a sizzle. Chuck, that'll take him a year to edit, but I'm not going to shoot a sizzle, but I thought, okay, other people are having these problems with barbers.
A scissor reel.
Oh! Also, hey, great name for a lesbian porn. All right, a scissor reel. But yeah, so... I felt glad knowing other people have had barber problems. I think you've had barber problems.
Oh, absolutely.
I think these guys, they get angry and they take it out on your mop.
Well, everyone's human. Everyone's fighting their own battle, mop the hoople. And I think that...
mop the floor with me.
He's just going through some shit. I thought you were going to say... He read the review from the lady and was like, hey, this guy's a Nazi piece of shit. That's where I thought it was going.
No, this guy is not a fan of comedy.
But, it's frustrating. That's one of the gambles with a haircut. It's why people get a barber and they stick with them forever. They walk in, they go, hey, Bruce.
Yes.
Because I got a place that's really good, and they're Asian barbers.
Ooh.
From Lexington, I guess. But so I go there every time now because they give me the best.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know where this is from, but sometimes you get a haircut's big.
It's big. And it's you go back to your apartment and you're like a kid again. You're stomping your feet going, God damn it, I should have said this. And then you look in the mirror, you go, I got to look like that for 3 weeks because it's going to, it's going to take a while to grow back.
It looks okay.
Yeah,
but it's nice.
I'm not going to lie to you. I went in with a couple buzz. I went back to my house and hit the buzzer. To
really?
Shape it up, that's risky.
Yeah,
and I was playing angry. When you're angry, you're like,
Chuck, you got a nice cut. Where are you going? Staten Island?
I have a stylist in Rhode Island.
Whoa!
A stylist?
Yeah, me and my buddy Ray Harrington have the same stylist.
Oh my God!
Well, I mean, I don't know. She cuts hair, and I know her, and that's what she's called.
I hope you don't have the same trainer.
I'm saying stylist to be respectful, because that's what she wants to be called.
Oh, okay.
For me, I'm like, this is my friend Maddie who does my haircut.
It's like sex worker.
Yeah,
we all know you're a prostitute.
Yeah, you say something like nail technician, esthetician, but really you're like, I need my haircut. That's it.
Oh, wait, I didn't know. I'm a naive old boomer. I didn't know porn was just all right on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. I've jerked off to Twitter.
There was a lady at my show in Des Moines, of all places. West Des Moines was like, I just saw Joe List, funniest guy ever, which is very sweet. And, she's a young lady. I go, let me take a sniff at what's going on here. And I scrolled down, and it was like, I just saw Joe List. He's great. I just bought some bubble gum. It tastes great. And then it was just a flying butthole.
What?
Yeah, butthole, pussy, dildo, the whole thing. And
Hers?
Hers, yeah. I'm not shaming. I'm for it. But I couldn't believe it. So then I'm scrolling, and I'm like, look at this, and it's like beaver, anus, nipples,
Yeah.
and then just Stavros shirtless. And at some point, she retweeted Stavros. So I'm like, I'm hard as a rock, and
Yeah.
then I see Stavros and just blast off. I
Oh, what a
came
left
everywhere.
turn that is. Jeez, see that fat Greek shirtless.
This attacked me. I was in line at Starbucks and I was scrolling through Twitter next to this old lady, and I spooked this old lady with a rough deep throat video by accident
Oh,
because
man.
I had no idea, and it's quite a thrill. I had no idea you could just find Twitter. But this is the problem. What Chuck's talking about. All the female not all the female comics, but lots of female comics now post photos, thirst traps.
Yes.
So I'll be on the bus, or I haven't taken a bus in 20 years, but I'll be on something, heroin, and I'm like going through my feed, and all of a sudden it's just Kim Congdon smushing her tits
Yes.
together, and then I look like a porn guy. But I'm
I
like, this is a
know.
comic. She's a friend of mine.
And
This
then-
happens a lot.
And it's also weird that, like, why am I the creep? She's posting it. It just, and I, even if you were looking at it on purpose, why does
Right.
that make you a bad guy? That's what I don't get.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make you a bad guy, but it just it
To a
puts
stranger.
The thought, yeah, the
Right.
stranger, the lady, especially that lady at the plane that called me dark asshole.
Oh, if she would have seen those bee holes.
If she saw Karen Fian or this fan with her anus, but I don't know, she would have thrown a suitcase at me or whatever. I would have been like,
Yeah.
that's dark right there.
That's a dark butthole.
By the way, the bee hole has no attraction to me. It's cute. I like a bee. I don't hate it, but like seeing anal penetration doesn't get me anywhere.
I think
sexually.
it's just like, wow, she's going there. That's the attraction. Like, holy, it's almost like anal. I don't know if you've ever gotten your ass pounded, but it hurts.
yeah, a couple days ago, but
But I'm saying if you fuck a girl in the ass, it's just like, oh, we're going that next level.
well, that I like.
Okay.
Having anal is exciting, but just seeing a photo, I'm not like, oh, no. I'm kind of like, oh, all right.
It's
but
more,
I think I'm
yeah,
old now.
It's medical too. You're like, that's where your shit comes out of. How about that?
But it's quite a thrill because you're like, this person was at. You don't think of a
awesome.
porn person being in your show.
Yes, yes.
So that was quite a thrill. And boy, Des Moines was one of those weekends where I don't have a lot of great stories, but great weekend there. All the Des Moines Tuesdays were so cool. Our fans are the best. And thanks for coming up. But it was such a productive weekend. Steve and I were bouncing bits the whole time.
Huge.
We went to the movies. I forget how much I love being on the road. We went to the Cheesecake Factory after the
the
Friday
best, the
show.
best.
We flew in a night early. There's a club there, a little room called Tee Comedy Club.
Oh,
And we went and did spots there.
Tee Bank.
Hey, boy, you are hot tonight.
Hey, you too.
Are you going to another pod? I hope so. 'Cause
I
you're
got
on
nothing.
fire.
All right.
Well, you do something.
Maybe I'll set some up at the park.
Film it. But yeah, so we went in a day early, and because to save money on flights, because these flights are crazy.
Uh-huh.
And our boy Chavone, check out the live episode on Patreon right now.
Yes.
He was there the week before, and he's like, "You guys got to go do this room," because he did that thing where he did it, and he was like, "Hey, Joe, listen, Steve Rogers is coming next week," and they were like, "What? Get them in here."
Yeah.
So
Level what?
We showed up to Tee and quite a room and some really funny comics. I forgot. I saw this young Latino comic. I forget his name. Fuck. Something.
Rodriguez, Carlos,
Padre,
Gonzalez,
San Diego
Paco.
Padres. I don't know. It was something, but he was very funny, and I was laughing out loud. A couple funny comics there, and they're excited because we're there. And then we do sets. That was great. Then Friday night we do a show, killer. Saturday we do the early show, killer. Late show, great show. And like 40 minutes in, I look, and the front table, I go, "Hey, are you that comic from the other night at the thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's me." I'm like, "You guys are all comics." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "This guy's fucking hilarious." And it was quite very exciting for them. They were like, "Hey, shout out."
No better feeling though when the comics come out. That means they respect you, they appreciate, they like you, they want to see a pro at work.
It was very exciting. And then I thought about being like, come up and tell that bit.
Yes.
But then I was afraid it'd just bury me, like Patrice O'Neill style.
Well, that's the interesting thing because I'll do that too. I'll go to these weird towns and you pop in on the local scene and you're like, this guy's brilliant. That guy's like that story Louis told about being in, what was he, in Ireland or something? And Melbourne.
Yeah. Melbourne, yeah.
And he saw some brilliant, weird nerd kid with great jokes and he said, come to the Sydney Opera House.
Right.
It's a weird moment because you're like, whoa, you're fucking great. And then you're like, maybe I'm not that good. And then you're also like, you live here, which kind of gives them more
Right.
panache and cachet. Like, oh, you're just this hidden gem in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there's good comics everywhere now. It used to,
Yeah.
like in the old days, it was like Boston, Chicago, L.A., New York, and now every city, you go to West Des Moines. But yeah, you should get out sooner than later.
Yes, get out or get online. One or the other. Get your shit
Yeah.
out there. Show the world. I'll do a scroll. You scroll through these comics, you're like, ugh, yuck. Enough with the crowd work, you suck. And then one, you're like, this guy's a genius.
Right.
It happens. Or gal.
Yes, of course. But yeah, that was exciting. It's fun to come in and do an alternative show, and then Des Moines Funny Bone just kicked ass, man. So many great Tuesdays. One guy just handed me cash, which I appreciate. A couple gift cards, and just awesome. It feels very nice. And thanks for everyone on the Patreon.
Hell
Bunch of
yeah.
Patreon people. It
Killing it.
went up.
It went up.
Thanks
and
to Chuck.
Chuck's kept it in line. You kept it on the rails with these queefs and the Q&A-nals and all your ideas. And if you're not going to tune in, I mean, you should kill yourself because we got a Soul Joel coming up that's going to be a banger.
Yeah, it's going to be something big. Road trip. That's going to be wild.
yeah.
We got to figure out the details of that.
Yeah.
The driving.
That's going to come out this Thursday.
Whoa!
I'll believe it when I see it.
Nelly.
All right. Now I got one more
Please.
humdinger, and I need some input on this because this is a whopper.
Minimal input from Chuck.
Yeah, you got
please.
to ask me directly. You can't look.
Okay.
If you look at me, they'll say, "Did you ask him?"
See, he's putting this up there because now they're going to be mad at us. Before we could be like, hey, Chuck's out of my
Way to flip it
jurisdiction.
there,
No,
C-Dog.
sometimes Joe goes, "Hey, what does this stand for?" And he looks at me, and someone's like, "He didn't ask him."
Oh, jeez.
All right, Chuck Taylor, hang back. So that same 5 o'clock show. You ever have this one? I think every comic's done this, where you're doing well, but there's one lady right here, because it's a small stage, right there, literally next to my asshole.
Where's this? Lexington?
Lexington.
Okay.
This is the 5 o'clock, the added show. That's where you got into trouble, because these people just went, we'll pop over to this bullshit, whoever this twink is.
5 o'clock Shasho.
Yes. So I'm there doing well, and this lady's just stone facing, mean mugging, cold cocking, just, and I'm doing like oh, you almost smiled there. Oh, hey, wow, you almost laughed. Whoa, oh, she almost laughed, folks, and that's doing well. And then at one point, I'm killing with this woman up front. I'm like, I love you. You're just, you get me. And she's like, whatever. And then I go, unlike her, you're just a jolly ray of sunshine, and this might be the face of death, whatever. And it's hitting, but she won't crack. Usually they go, all right, geez, okay, I'll smile.
Right.
Nothing.
No crack.
No crack, unlike the 80s. And so then she's like, I go, blah, 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 make fun of her again. Then I do the whole, like, is she laughing? And they're like, she's not laughing, and that's killing, whatever. So then I sell shirts, and she shows up, and I think she's going to be like, look, I'm just not a laugher. I got a weird face, whatever. But she was like, we got to talk. And I was like, fuck. She goes, would you say the N-word on stage?
What?
And I go, nah, probably not. I have, but I try to cut down on it or whatever. And she
Sure.
goes, well, why do you say the R word? And I go, wow, I think they're a little different. And she goes, well, my son has Down syndrome.
Oh, boy.
And I go, well, my cousin has Down syndrome. So now we're off on this retard off, like, oh, well, my son, my whatever. And then she goes, I don't approve of those jokes. You shouldn't do those jokes. And I go, well, what about the Holocaust joke? She goes, that's fine. And I go, so it's only when it affects you.
Right.
And she goes, well, it's just pretty hurtful and rude. And I'm like, to you. Everybody else seemed to enjoy it. And I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be like, fuck you, lady, get a life, you snowflake. I'm not trying to be that guy, but
Sure.
I'm trying to be a little bit like, I can't just cater to your world.
Right.
I don't know you. I've never met you. I don't know your son. I'm sure he's a sweet kid. I'll get him some candy, but I just can't do it. And she was like, well, whatever. And she stormed off in a huff.
Ah, boy.
Now, what is the protocol there?
Well, it's a bummer to hurt people's feelings. That's the thing. You never want to upset people.
I
You don't want to
wanna
hurt their
upset. I don't wanna hurt.
feelings. And I'm sure if you said it early in the show, so she's just fuming, and then you keep calling back
I
to
know,
it. She's
I know.
upset, but whatever. But the thing is, it's like you're buying a ticket to see an artist. As much as it's comedy, we're telling dick jokes, we're saying retard, whatever. It's still a form of art, performing arts.
Yeah.
And you don't get to decide what the artist does. That's the
Right.
nature of consuming art.
Yes.
I wish that Bob Dylan didn't make a fucking Christmas album.
Sure.
But he did, and I go, well, I don't care for that one. Whatever it is.
But this is a little. I hear you, but this is different because it's Bob Dylan made a Christmas album. What a hack! What a sellout! This is you're a bad guy. That's what hurts.
But that's what I'm saying is so like again like Smashing Pumpkins. They bring in drum machines, and I hate it. I'm like I like the early stuff. I hate that, but I don't write to Billy Corgan and say, hey, I think you're a scumbag, you piece of shit.
Right.
Maybe this is a false equivalency. I just go. Fuck. I don't like that as much as I used to.
Yeah.
So she could just go home and go, I didn't care for that, but you're certainly welcome to say the thing. And I have the same thing. I have a joke where I say retarded. I had a guy email me and be like, I love the show, but my wife was upset because she has has Down syndrome. Would you consider taking that out? And I wrote back, I can't do that because then I have to start catering to what everyone says. I'm sorry she didn't like the joke. It upsets me that she's upset.
Sure.
But it's just a word, and I didn't say it to a kid with Down syndrome.
No, of course not. I wouldn't either.
I'm just saying the word, and I did in Atlanta do the jokes I have where I say retarded, and there was a kid with Down syndrome there, and I felt terrible after, but none of them were upset.
In the crowd?
In the crowd,
What?
yeah.
Very functional.
And sure. And so, you feel bad.
Yeah.
But then you move on. They weren't too upset. They certainly didn't tell me if they were upset. And
Yeah.
that's part of it. It's like,
I guess it's part of it, but it just sucks because you give them access to you by selling a shirt or taking photos, and then they feel they can critique, which I guess they're allowed to do, free speech or whatever.
Sure.
And you don't want to hurt, you don't want to upset. I don't want to make her feel bad, but it kills. It's a funny joke, and it wouldn't work without that word.
I have the same thing going, and to me, it's like I don't know. That's not offensive to me, and it's not offensive to most people in the audience.
Yeah. Well, we do this thing now where we go, these are jokes, but these 4 things are untouchable, like race or trans or retarded or whatever. So it's like I get the Holocaust thing. I like dark humor. I know that's a joke, but this is over the line. Like, we do that with trans all the time. Chappelle, Ricky Gervais, and you're like, but why do those stick out to you? Well, you can't go trans jokes, but why not? They're just people. You're making fun of people. That's what I don't get. It's like, he made Holocaust, he made slavery, he made Muslim, he made cancer, AIDS, but the trans stuff is what we focus on. Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like the hot button issue
hot
or
button.
whatever. But I think that she's within her right to say that. But
Sure.
I prefer just going, well, I didn't care for that, whatever.
Yeah,
but maybe
same.
if you kept calling back to her, that's why she feels like, all right, well, if he's going to keep talking about it, I'll go tell him why I was upset, whatever. But to me, it's like that's the nature of art, but particularly comedy. The idea of comedy is saying stuff you're not supposed to say.
A little bit.
That's the whole idea of it.
Yeah, that's true.
And somebody said this recently on a podcast, but it's like people trying to tell comedians what not to say never really holds up well. It's not a good looking back. Like, nobody's like, they were right to try to shut down Lenny Bruce.
Right.
Not that she's trying to shut you down. I guess she's trying to get you to think about something, which
And
I get it. When people do, I go, all right,
about it.
I'll think about it.
I've
But
definitely thought about it all weekend.
ultimately, it's like, yeah, you might hear some stuff you don't like, which is the nature of fucking life.
Yeah.
It's like I walk around, I see a homeless guy taking a shit on the sidewalk. That's not something I was looking forward to seeing, but
Sure.
life is difficult, and I go, oh, shit, that sucks. Life is miserable.
And again, Tarantino has a movie where a guy gets raped and then he cuts it with a fucking samurai sword, which is dark, horrific, crazy shit, gore. And I'm sure a lot of moms are like, I don't want my kid seeing this, but that's art.
Yes.
I mean, but the problem with Tarantino is he's up in Israel, fucking his model wife, and we're standing in the lobby of a comedy club behind a card table going, hey, I got a shirt here.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, part of it is because we're so accessible with social media, and we go and do a meet and greet, so people are welcome to come and say shit. And a lot of it's hurtful.
Yeah, it
But
is
that's
a lot
part
of
of
hurtful
it.
stuff.
She's taking a gamble by going in the audience and listening to a comedian, and we're taking a gamble by standing out in the hallway and getting feedback from people.
Good point. And look, we are discussing it because it does affect us. We wanna make it right, but I don't know if there is a solution here.
But I've thought this since I was a kid. When it was like I'm like, I just don't. I haven't heard a compelling argument about how me on stage saying the word retarded, making the noise retarded with my mouth,
Yeah.
is making the world a worse place.
I know.
In fact, if you're upset, but 250 people laugh, I've brought joy to a whole lot of people. And I do feel bad that you're upset.
Sure.
But I can't feel bad for that long, and I've brought much more joy. And I don't think I'm bringing any real suffering into the world. You're just triggered by a word.
Right.
Which is
right.
fine.
That's fine. Yeah, you're allowed to be triggered. Well, the whole thing's retarded. And I hope the best for that lady and her kid.
Chuck wants to talk so bad right now. I can feel it. It looks like you have something to say.
If
but
you got
wanna
a nugget, I say get it out. But if you don't got a nugget, don't just pontificate.
I say it's like Twitter. You got 140 characters to express whatever that face was.
Yes.
I'm good.
And I can mute you.
You're
I'll
good?
block you.
I'm very good.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
God. All right.
All right. Yeah, so I guess I'll just keep doing the bit. It kills, it works, and it isn't even like they're dumb. And that's the other thing about the R word is tricky because nobody I know hates them. With other groups you can hate.
Right.
Like, oh, these black jokes, somebody might hate. There's groups that hate black people. You're like, yeah, but I don't know anybody who hates a Downsy.
Right.
Do you?
No.
I want them out of my neighborhood or whatever.
No, I don't know anybody. So, I don't know the joke, but it happens, and that's part of it. Especially these days, everybody gets a word, and everybody's very upset, so it's just part of it.
I think the problem is not only does everybody get a word now, they get a word and expect change. Whereas before, you just got a word in. Now people go, this, and this, now fix it.
Right.
Do better, or whatever the fuck they say.
I mean, I reference it all the time. I think about it all the time because it's like the greatest moment in the history of rock and roll or art is in the Dylan in No Direction Home when they're all booing.
Yep.
And they say, Judas, traitor. And he says, I don't believe you. You're a liar. And then he turns and says, play it fucking loud. And it's like, what would have happened
I get chills.
if Dylan went, all right, you're right. Let me get my acoustic. I'll go get my acoustic guitar and I'll sing about civil rights.
Right.
You know, it's like some people are going to boo and yell Judas, and you go, hey, I don't believe you. What do you want me to do? And that's how I feel with this lady. It's like, I'm sure you're offended, but you could just go, I hate that comic, and go home.
Yeah.
It's like I always say, I'm like, reality shows on Bravo, I think, are like destroying our society. I don't write to Bravo and go, hey, you got to take this off. I go, all right, I'm going to watch the fucking ball game.
I know. I think my lady watches those. She's like, I know it's trash TV, but it's like junk food. I'm like, I've watched a few with you, and I think it made me dumber.
Yeah.
Now what I do, and this really pisses her off, she'll put this 90 Day Fiancé horse shit on. I'll go get a book and read it in front of her.
Oh.
Just to go, ha-ha. You're not gonna dumb me down, lady.
We both fake read books in this episode.
You got that right. I'm reading a book about 90 Day Fiancé, but still.
Great program. So, hey, folks, this weekend I'm at the Liberty Funny Bone in Ohio. I heard it's a tough room. It's a big room. It's a crazy room. Come on out. I need to hit some bonuses because I'm taking Matt Wayne to the tennis tournament. It's costing me an arm and a leg, for God's
Baby
sake.
doll. Is he a tennis fan?
I guess so, yeah. So,
okay.
He's coming, so call it the Liberty Funny Bone. Get your tickets, and then I don't even know what I have next. Royal Oak, Michigan, September 29th and 30th, October 1st. We packed that out last time. Let's do it again. Royal Oak, I'm back. Whole new act.
Great
so
club.
Come, and the movie is available right now. It's streaming at louisck.com. There's a lot of Tuesdays out there that have not purchased it yet, so please go get it. You get a full audio commentary with Louis and I. You get the deleted scenes, the Luis Gomez scene, and there's a bunch of fun shit on there, the Live at the Beacon stuff that Chuck shot. By the way, Chuck. And so go buy it. $15. It's like a meal.
It's a steal. That you can have 4 people watch it.
Yes.
You know? That's a steal, baby. You go to the movie theaters, it's $19.99 plus a bag of popcorn.
If you're gay, you got to see it. I mean, go see it. What the fuck?
You gotta go gay.
And Patreon.
Yes. All right. This weekend I'm at San Antonio, then the bachelor party. So tune in next week for that horse shit. That's gonna be a barrage of debauchery. And then Richmond Funny Bone.
Yes.
Wilbur Theater.
Yes.
Royal Oak, New Orleans, Seattle, Portland, Toronto, Vancouver. West Palm Beach, marknormancomedy.com. Tell a friend, queef it up. Go buy some Bodega Cat whiskey. We finally got that up on the blower there. And praise Allah, get on the Patreon. I think we have shirts. Get a mug. Who the hell knows? Queef it up. We love you. Anal.